Hi, so I thought I would do a quick tour of the fungulate illustrations that I did for the month. To start with, the prompts came from Feefal on Instagram at FEEFAL. I think I mentioned that before, but before the month started, I was trying to think of ideas. There's also some sketches for some like Patreon rewards here, Otis, the bear. But I was like, I want to go back to the fungulates, so I sort of sketched out really quickly a couple ideas, thinking about some stuff. And that was just like a couple weeks beforehand, trying to think about what I wanted to do before I started on the actual prompts. So the way I work is I'll take the backside of the page before and use that to sort of sketch out ideas and then follow through with them on this side. So I've got my list, and then you can usually see this side too, and we'll be working on this to thumbnail and think about in those TikTok videos. So I started on this side and kind of moved to this side. So the first week was all spooky prompts, and I started with the inky cap, which I think is my favorite. Like, I love the inky cap. I think it's the cutest. I think it's one of the best ones there. And then there was the Clathrus ruber, which they're a type of mushroom that starts out sort of like a tight ball, and then like a puff ball almost, but you can see the structure underneath if you look them up pictures of them, of this like matrix underneath of them, and then like this outer layer, I guess, disappears, and there's this bright orangey red weird little matrix, and then as it gets bigger that pulls apart and becomes this sort of crown, which is what I used at the top. I really liked that design. I like the idea of it being like see-through, like having the hollow head. I thought that was kind of cool. The one after that was Destroying Angel, which the mushroom itself is fairly simple. It's just a white mushroom. The thing that's scary about it is it looks really innocuous and people confuse it for other mushrooms, and then you eat it and it's bad. It does a really bad number on you. So I decided, instead of trying to incorporate the shapes of the mushroom or the colors of the mushroom like I had the others, I went with sort of just the effects. I mean, it doesn't turn you to bones, but I like the idea of like the very innocent plain looking head at the top, and then underneath is the skeletonized body. So that was sort of that one for the Destroying Angel. Although looking back, my anatomy on the body's a little funky, which isn't terrible, but I don't love it. After the Destroying Angel, is Mycena Chlorophysis, which is the little glow-in-the-dark ones, and you can't see it here because I use my glow-in-the-dark ink. I'll try and get a shot of it glowing to put in as well, but I went over all of this with glow-in-the-dark ink, so there's a bunch of tiny mushrooms, a bunch of the parts of it glow, and they all glow in the dark, which I thought was kind of neat. It's a very fun, I like using my ink for that reason. It's not a great glow-in-the-dark ink. It's, what is this? Encre Herbin. Encre Phosphorescent. Phosphorescent ink. Anyways, I find this brand, it only really works if it's on top of white and like untouched white. Like if you paint something white and try to put it on top, it sometimes doesn't work very well. So the things I had bought it for, it was okay for, but it's not very good. So I would advise this for like doing fun stuff, especially if you're just drawing straight onto white with it, but not necessarily putting your money into it if you really want to do like an interesting piece that's glow in the dark. Just a heads up. And then after that one was Cordyceps, which was another one that I really like the design of. So this is the Parasitic Cordyceps. There's a bunch of Cordyceps. The Parasitic Cordyceps, it's the ones that infect like hornets and ants, things like that. And it's also I think the basis of the, what's the name of the damn game? The game where the zombies are mushroom people. It's like on the tip of my tongue. I'll put it across the bottom because I'll remember when I'm editing. In any case, I think that's what they based it off of, because the way the fungus works is a lot of them, I think they ingest it either through other animals that they eat or through eating food where the spores are on it. I'm not sure exactly how it gets into their system. And then it's that one that like takes over their brain, and in the case of some it makes them like climb really high, or it makes them do like certain risky behaviors. I think some ants, because the ants have evolved to recognize the fungus and destroy any members of the community that get infected with it and like get rid of them, just put them out of the community to be completely separated and not infect the rest of the community. I think they've evolved in some of them to basically change the ant's pheromone signature so that they don't recognize what's going on, and then they bring it in as food, which is kind of neat, and they can like infect more of the hive. Terrifying, but cool. In any case, so I was looking up a bunch of pictures. This like, I don't even know what you call it, like polyp? Whatever this is, usually comes out of the back of the skull on those. But, in this one I did it sort of up in the middle, because I was thinking of like, you know, the antlers and horns and stuff. After that was bleeding tooth. I've done this one previously in, last 2 years ago? Oh my god, a couple years ago. The first time I'd done my fungulates, and I liked that version way better. This one I borked it. And I like smudged it, and then I was really, I don't know, I was sad. And then the candle snuff, it was a great idea, but I was definitely getting a little worn out that afternoon. And then I dropped my tears on it. Actually, I was just yawning a lot and my eye watered, and then it fell on my sketchbook while I was working on other things, and I blurred out the whole name. But that was the entirety of the spooky week. The candle stuff, those ones actually look really cool, and I liked the structure in the antlers of it. I did see after, there's another artist, I don't follow them, but I did see it amongst some of the other ones. They did the candle snuff as a deer as well, and they also did the hooves with that like cool structure that they are. It looks really neat. So the next week was the colorful week. So I've got, here I'll double this up just because it's very bright out the window. So yeah, again, sketching on one side, finished pieces on the other. I really like doing this because it allows me to kind of thumbnail and then look back at my thumbnail while I work. But yeah, so we've got, the first one was Amethyst Deceiver, which is just a really pretty purple mushroom. Not very interesting structure, so again, I sort of, I just really wanted to lean into the purple and how pretty it looked, so I did that. And then the blue milk cap, the next one there, that's one of my favorites too. It was a very it's a very short, squat mushroom, and I wanted to do something that, like, I wanted the deer to look short and squat. So the first couple of sketches you can see here, I wrote no across because I did a terrible job of the proportions, and then I thought, wait, is there, because like dwarfism is a thing in lots of different mammals, so I thought maybe I could find a couple pictures of any deer with dwarfism. I wasn't sure how common it is, or if it's something that, you know, even if they get it, if they can survive to adulthood, so I might only find like pictures of some fawns. But I did find an adult, looked like a white-tailed deer with dwarfism, so I based the body proportions off of her. You could tell, I tried to imitate it in the front leg here. It looks like the back legs were definitely more like shortened, and then the front legs sort of, there was like I think just because of the height difference between the front and the back legs, she kind of held her feet a little different. So I tried to kind of recreate that a bit, but I definitely smoothed it out a little bit more, so it was just, you know, you got a little tiny cutesy head and whatever. But I was amazed to find like an adult deer with dwarfism to use as the basis for that, like that shape. Because I already knew there's other small deer species, but I don't know, I just, what I was looking for was something along those lines, and it was interesting to find that. So then there was the violet coral, which again is beautiful like purpley blue, and they have these very like coral-like structures. So I did that, just the big crown of them, and I based this one off of a, oh shoot, I don't know how to, like a water deer, Muntjac deer? I don't know how to pronounce it, but they're the ones with the little tusks. And then there was the parrot wax cap, which is a Java mouse deer. Because they were such little tiny mushrooms, I wanted to do like a small breed and species. And I thought they turned out pretty cute too, a little chubby little parrot wax cap one. Turkey tail. So this is one that I also had designed last year, so I sort of went with the same design as I did last year. Just, you know, recreated it here. I like doing the like ruffling down the neck, and then the big like tail made out of the like ruffly mushroom structures. I thought that was pretty cute. And then the Chanterelle was the one I was looking forward to, and I just sort of did a meh job, but it's still kind of cute. I might visit this one again later and make something a little cuter. And then I wasn't looking ahead, and I wasn't thinking. The last prompt for colorful was any Mycena, which there's a bunch of different colors of them, and I was like, oh, I'll go with this pretty pink, because the rest of the colors on the page, there's no pinks. Not remembering that the next set of prompts, Mycena Rosea, which is the pink one, pink variety, is on it. But that's fine. And then again, yeah, because they're just a bunch of tiny mushrooms, I thought it'd just be cute to design like a deer. I found an interesting pose, like the little leap, and then covered its back with the little mushrooms. Which, that's where the Mycena Rosea is. So I basically redid it, but just did a different pose and smaller, because I was like, I already drew this, I don't need to draw it twice. Or at least, don't need to put that much work into it twice. So our first one is the Poison Fire Coral. I just really wanted to give it a long neck. Yeah, it just was fun. Because I'd already done like another coral variety, and I liked to add that to the antlers there. I liked putting it back and having it like swoop up into a big crown. Death Cap, again, not a very interesting mushroom, just a little brown mushroom. So I thought I would take the tones and then kind of play on the like what it does and its name. So it's got the little skull on its face, and I also added the what's the name of it? It's like the skirt that they kind of get, where they separate from the stalk, the head of the mushroom. I added that in the little like ruffle around the neck, which I like that as well. And then Autumn Skull Cap, which I should have read that one and put the skull on that one. I was tired that day. So this one I just sort of stuck with like these nice cute fall colors and just a bunch of little small mushrooms, because they grow along like logs and there's like clusters in them. So I thought that would look cute if it looked like a little green and brown log with a bunch of tiny mushrooms. And then my Mycena Rosea, which you've already seen, and then this one I just drew it like eating or drinking. Oh yes, Verdigris? Yeah, Verdigris agaric. I'll say it 16 more times. They were such a pretty color, and then I drew this little bust, and he's got the little like ruffle around his neck, and he looks so suspicious. I loved him. I thought that one was very cute. I really, really like that one. I think that one and the Poison Fire Coral are my favorite of this page. Cutinarius Iodes. That one was really cool. It's like purple and yellow. I'm a little sad that I didn't do a better job of creating it. I wanted to do the little bust again, and I wanted to give it like the big round eyes so I could make them yellow instead of the little dot eyes that I do a lot. And I think I was just sort of burnt out at that point, so I didn't do as good of a job on that as I could have. But that's alright. They can't all be winners. And then Amanita Muscaria, everybody's favorite, that big red beautiful bastard. I decided, unlike the others, to do a cap instead of the antlers for the mushrooms, just because I thought it would be fun. So I did. Put a little cap on it. I thought it looked pretty cute. And then we go into the final week, the week we're currently on. Spoiler alert, I worked on a lot of the last two. I basically worked on all of them in one day and just worked through them because I knew I'd be busy with my day job, so I wanted to give myself a little more space. So that's also why these ones are so much less sketchy work on them. I just sort of was able to be like, this idea. Yeah, let's go. Next. So the first one for the Cute Pretty week is Podoserpula Miranda, which I loved the structure of those. So I wanted to make this like really lacy looking, like ruffly, cute. It looked really cute. I really like it. And then there was the Plums and Custard Fungus, which I was going for like a really chubby little like water deer type looking, like the little tusks. He's got the chubby belly and it's got the little chunky butt, and it basically looks like a bear with mushroom antlers. But I still think it turned out cute. And then I used the mushroom structure for the tail because it's almost like a little bobble shape before it like opens up. And then yeah, that nice purples and yellows. I thought that was really cute. The Split Gill Mushroom, I think I was a little more ambitious than I should have been. I tried to put in too much detail for what I was gonna ultimately end up doing, but I still think it looks cool. I like the idea of it like being kind of like I'm thinking of Triceratops, or I guess like prehistoric rhinos, things like that, where they had like a plate out of the forehead instead of a horn. It was like a plate shape. I wanted to go with that, but with this split gill mushroom shape. I thought that looked really cool. And then the Wrinkled Peach Mushroom, I probably could have done way better and more detailed and whatever, but I was like, I don't know if I can pull this off, especially not for a sketchy little cute sketchbook spread. So I sort of just did it with like spots, and I hope it looks cute. I think it looks cute. the colors were so much fun. That like peachy orange and like this creamy yellow. So pretty. I really like that one. And then the oyster mushroom, I went with blue oysters because they were sort of a gray, dark blue, while everything else was actually fairly colorful on this page. And I did again, because they're like a cluster, I did the cluster coming up the ruffles on the neck, and then I did a big cluster coming up the head. I thought that looked kind of neat. And I did the bust just to like fit things in. That was part of the reason I did some with just busts and not full bodies, just to try and like squeeze them into the spaces. And the last one, which is probably the weirdest one, oh wait, no, I missed it. Sorry, lion's mane. I missed lion's mane. This one I made really fluffy. Because lion's mane just looks like a little fur ball stuck on a tree, so I went with this like this big fluffy thing, and then I added some blue tones in because they're just a white mushroom. But I thought the blue tones would look cute. So like, this is a winter fungulate. And yeah, the last one, the weird one, was the veiled lady mushrooms. They have like a long stalk and then like a little brown cap, and then out of that comes either a white or this like orange colored like lace. It goes down, and then as it gets bigger, I think like the lace flips up and it deteriorates. Anyways, I like the idea of like the big long neck and then the lace coming all the way down. I thought that was a fun idea, and it allowed me to like really fill up this space in a fun way. So I went with that. I thought it was really neat. Because at first I was like, oh, I should make it fancy, and I was like, no, I want to make it silly. But all in all, I really enjoyed like the whole process. I enjoy doing prompt series. As long as I give myself the time to do them. Yeah, so if you're wondering, I guess I mentioned it a few times, but fungulate is what I called the original versions of these, which is just fungus and fungulate. Actually, my husband came up with the term. It was a stroke of genius. But yeah, I did them a couple years ago. I had a lot of fun with that, and just the idea of like combining them again was really, I don't know, it was exciting to me. I really love them. I don't know why I don't draw them more often. I should really just have them be like a warm-up sketch thing, because it's just such a fun, different idea. In any case, that's those ones. Yeah, there's November of 2020. I was drawing some mushrooms. So I think that's what got me into the mood to draw these mushroom animals. Yeah. So I was thinking of a Patreon reward, or just something fun, and I was drawing different like mushroom beasties. So I had like birds and gophers and and then the fungulates happened. And let's see if I can find, there we go. So yeah, November 28th and 29th of 2020, I started drawing some fungulates. So you can see how my style's changed a little bit. Definitely as I've gotten more and more into drawing and simplifying like animal shapes, I've definitely found like a niche of what I like to draw. But I have like, you can see the Chanterelle, a hen of the woods, which is essentially like the turkey tail, old man's beard, my original version of the ink cap, which was a little less spooky. I don't know if I have any more in here. Oh, I have a bunch in here. I forgot. I had gone onto my Instagram and got people to suggest different mushrooms this first time. So there's a lot of them. There's a bunch of fun little guys. There's the original Cordyceps that I did. Oh, there we go. My original Bloodtooth one. I did like, I wanted there's stickers of this. I think I still have some of them actually from the first Patreon rewards, because what I did was, the print was a painting in my bigger sketchbook, and the stickers were a digital like redraw of the Bloodtooth and the turkey tail. So I'll get those and I'll show those to you too. But I liked the idea of the Bloodtooth having like a big, again, like a big chunky crown thing that was like the fungus with all the little weepy bits, and then it had like weepy eyeballs, and I don't know. I like the design of it better. I wish I had just like taken that design and executed it again. But yeah, there was a lot of little fungulates that time. And yeah, alright. So that's my fungulates for this February, and previously from last year. Jesus, it's 2022. From 2020, 2 years ago. And I hope to draw more of them. Anyways, I hope you had fun with this, and yeah, if you want to see more things like this, just subscribe, do the whole 9 yards. I also have a Patreon where you can get rewards, and quite honestly, probably April's rewards, yes, will be some from this generation's fungulate stickers, and I think I'm going to do a lino cut print of one of the, like try and do a bigger lino cut of some fungulate stuff and do them, probably the inky cap. And actually the doodles, if I have some people in the doodle tier, I'm probably going to make some, either some small like fungulate stamps and do them up on paper. So like if you want to join the doodle tier and get like a little custom lino print, tiny print, little print, and like the stickers and everything else, you can do that too. So you'll get the print, more prints, more lino cuts, and or doodles. I don't know. I'm very excited for this one, so I have to try and figure out exactly what I want to do and do that. But next month's rewards, I'm really excited for too, is the tigers, so gotta get them done too. Oh my god, stop talking. Okay, bye.